Reflections on the 9-Year Plan and the Destiny of America, Part 4. Exploring paragraphs 12 through 15, the call to societal transformation. Welcome, dearly loved friends, to Part 4 of our continuing reflections on the September 30th, 2024 message from the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of the United States. In our journey so far, we've traced a remarkable arc, from recognizing the gravity of our times, to recalling America's spiritual destiny, to awakening to the still more superb mission entrusted to this community. Now we reach a pivotal section of the letter, paragraphs 12 through 15, where the vision becomes action. This is the moment where inspiration must translate into implementation. The earlier parts of the letter provided context, prophecy, and promise. Here, the focus turns to what must now be done. This section of the message does not merely encourage good intentions. It clarifies the spiritual maturity the Baha'i community has achieved through decades of internal transformation, and declares that this maturity has prepared us for the next stage, outward engagement with society's wounds. It outlines the conditions, safeguards, and spiritual principles required to carry this work forward. And it reaffirms that the core of our response to society's crisis is not partisanship or protest, but a spiritual movement grounded in meaning, identity, and love. This portion of the letter, then, is a rallying cry. It is a turning point in our national discourse, one that beckons us to rise, not just as individuals of faith, but as communities of transformation. Let us listen with receptive hearts and thoughtful minds as we explore these powerful paragraphs, each of which draws us closer to the true mission of the 9-Year Plan and the divine destiny of America. Paragraph 12. A new stage unfolds. The time foreseen by Shoghi Effendi has arrived. This slide reflects the monumental assertion of paragraph 12. The letter confirms that the day long anticipated by Shoghi Effendi, the day when Baha'is would be called to turn their spiritual capacities outward toward the healing of society, has arrived. This is not just a domestic development, it represents a global pivot. For decades, we have been building the internal capacity of the Baha'i community, developing habits of consultation, nurturing devotion, and learning the art of accompaniment. And now, as the letter cites the message from the Universal House of Justice dated November 28, 2023, this era of inward cultivation has reached a level of maturity that allows for decisive outward action. What's essential to note, friends, is that this outward focus is not a departure. It is the fulfillment of all that has come before. The paragraph tells us that this moment has come not just for America, but for Baha'is across the globe. It is a turning point in the unfoldment of the divine plan, a moment of readiness and release. Paragraph 13. Advancing the frontiers of learning. We are asked to build, not preserve. Paragraph 13 challenges us to view our clusters not as programs to manage, but as laboratories of transformation. The letter urges us to advance our clusters to the farthest frontiers of learning. This metaphor is critical. It tells us that we are pioneers in a spiritual landscape, not caretakers of an inherited system. Our work is not about guarding a legacy, it's about building one. The National Assembly frames this with inspiration. This is work that requires courage, experimentation, consultation, and perseverance. There will not be perfect conditions. We act in the world as it is, guided by the light of Baha'u'llah. This paragraph reminds us that to advance the plan, we must become protagonists, not passive participants, but community builders with spiritual initiative. Paragraph 14, staying spiritually distinct. Even as we respond to societal needs, the emphasis of paragraph 14 is on clarity of method. While we are being called to respond to society's profound suffering, the letter issues a gentle but firm warning. Our means must be consistent with our ends. The paragraph asks us to avoid involvement in activities that run counter to the spirit of Baha'u'llah's teachings, especially the traps of partisanship and polarization that dominate the public sphere today. This is not a retreat from engagement, it is a deepening of it. Baha'is are not sideline observers. We are active participants in building a new society, but one built through unity, not division, through principles, not party lines. We do not withdraw because we are afraid. We refrain because we have something better to offer. As the letter affirms, we must remain spiritually coherent and distinct, drawing our power from the teaching, not from political trends. Paragraph 15, the root cause of human suffering. The real crisis is moral corruption. Now, friends, we arrive at one of the most soul-stirring paragraphs of the entire letter. Paragraph 15 brings into view a statement from a message written 50 years ago by the Universal House of Justice. In it, we are reminded of a central Baha'i truth. The root cause of humanity's suffering is not material deprivation, but moral decline. This is a radical insight. In a world obsessed with material fixes, the Baha'i teachings offer something deeper, the recognition that meaning, purpose, identity, and unity are what people crave most. And these are precisely the qualities our faith nurtures. This paragraph lifts the veil. People are not simply suffering because of economics. They are suffering because of the spiritual void, the breakdown of trust, and the corrosion of character. Paragraph 15 continued, the Baha'i response. We are not chasing symptoms. This continuation of paragraph 15 clarifies the contrast between worldly and Baha'i approaches to social change. It notes that some may criticize the Baha'is for seeming to stand apart from the real struggles of the world. But the letter answers this charge directly. Those who hold that view often believe that material solutions alone will fix human problems. Baha'is see further. We know that without spiritual transformation, no lasting remedy is possible. The final lines of the paragraph are deeply moving. The letter says Baha'is know the goal they are working towards. This is not idealism. It is realism of the highest order. We are not just trying to alleviate symptoms. We are building the foundations of a new world order. And we do this not with hostility, but with hospitality, not with bitterness, but with radiant love. Summary slide, paragraphs 12 through 15. Let's close this section by briefly summarizing. Paragraph 12, the time to heal society has arrived. This is a shift of historic magnitude. Paragraph 13, our clusters must become bold centers of learning, action, and transformation. Paragraph 14, we are spiritually distinct. Our methods must align with Baha'u'llah's vision. Paragraph 15, the true crisis is moral. Our response is to build what is good, noble, and divine. Dear friends, we stand at the threshold of profound service. The words of the National Assembly echo the call of generations to arise, to build, and to love with a power that transcends our age. As we prepare to move into part 5, we will explore the deep moral challenges facing our society, especially the issue of racial prejudice, and how Baha'is are uniquely positioned to become agents of healing in this time of trial.